Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are new here, my name is Tonya, and in today's video, we're going to be choosing my August TBR. And I love making TBR videos each month. It's my absolute favorite video to film, just to, pick out the prompts with you guys and then find a book that matches up with it and see what we're going to be reading this month. So go ahead, get cozy, sit back, relax, and let's pick some books. So if you are new here, how I do my TBR videos is I pick 5 prompts out of my TBR jar here, and then I use a spinner wheel to pick one book from my 26 books that I want to read in 2026. And I think I'm down to 11 or 12 of them at this point, so I'm making excellent progress there, which is always a good thing. Now I do have 2 arcs that come out in September that I do want to try to get on my TBR. One of those is Scion by James Islington, and I'm really excited about that. I've really been enjoying James Islington's writing, and this in particular book is it's supposed to be like a sci-fi, cyberpunk kind of thriller. The description says it's like John Wick meets Blade Runner, which kind of sounds absolutely awesome. So hopefully I can get that on the TBR somewhere. And the second arc is A Complement of Scoundrels, and that's by S.V. Lockwood. And for that one, it's a heist fantasy. And let me read you just a tiny bit of the blurb. A Complement of Scoundrels is a bold, raucous journey through the underbelly of an empire where the devil's rules reign. And morality, loyalty, and friendship are values few can afford. But where there's a wit, there's a way, and Mariah has plenty of that. So I think that one sounds like it's just going to be a really good time. I love a good heist book, and when it can be incorporated with fantasy, that's even better. So hopefully I'll be able to get those 2 arcs on my TBR, but we shall see. So now let's get on to our prompts. All right. So for our first prompt, and this is perfect. It says a free pick, and I think for this one, I'm going to put Scion on there by James Islington. As I mentioned, it is a sci-fi kind of cyberpunk book, and really looking forward to reading it. Let me give you a little bit of the blurb on this one. My job, when you think about it, isn't so different from a lot of people's. The more old-fashioned crowd do still get hung up on the killing people part of it, I guess, but that's a them problem. It's been perfectly legal to take out lifers for ages. Besides, once ultra-wealthy morons realized that they had a way to live forever, limited resources be damned, there was only ever going to be one genuinely practical deterrent. So sure, I have to deal with a ton of boring, planning, inconvenient hours, some pretty awkward face-to-face interactions, and like most of us, I'm really only clocking in to try to crawl out from beneath my debt, but someone's got to do it. Luckily, my genetic compatibilities make me really, really good at doing it. Still, the next job, I don't know. It's something I haven't had to deal with in years, kind of the opposite of my regular duties. Strange that it got thrown my way. I'm sure it's all gonna be totally fine. So definitely sounds like it's gonna be a fun book. Sounds kind of like his job is like a contractor assassin type of person who takes out people who are wealthier, who have the means to live forever. And just that little bit of the blurb, I love like the snarky tone of it. So I think it's going to be an amazing read. So happy to have that one on my TBR. Now on to prompt number 2. And it says 7th book on the TBR cart. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, that'll be fun. All right, so the 7th book on the cart was Starside by Alex Astor. And this is Alex Astor's fantasy debut. I haven't read anything else by Alex Astor, but I've heard really good things about this one. People have been really liking it, so it's one I've been wanting to pick up. And in this world, there's like 2 different sides to the world. There's the star side, and the storm side. And the storm side is where all the mortals live, and it's kind of not a really great place to live. And the star side is where the immortals are from. And every 50 years, they have this competition where if you can travel all the way through storm side and star side, then you get some sort of a boon, some sort of magical boon. And our female main character in here, who is, let's see, because I cannot remember. So our female main character's name is Aris, and she wants to do this not for the boon. She wants to do it to be able to take out the immortals because they killed her family. So this is definitely going to have like a quest trials kind of feel. It is a romantasy, so we'll kind of see how that plays out. But yeah, this is one I've definitely been wanting to get to. So I guess August is the month. All right, now on to pick number 3. And I got 2. So we're going to choose this one. And it says new release in 2026. And this is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and put a complement of scoundrels on it because that does give me my 2 arcs on the TBR that I wanted to get on there. And I know we gave you a little brief description, you know, letting you know it was a heist, but here's a little more of the blurb. Cracking the Elias vault should have made Mariah the richest thief in all of Corinthium. Instead, it shattered her crew and left her rotting in jail while her double-crossing master walked away with everything that should have been hers. But now she's out, and it's time to settle the score. Reunite her crew? A pleasure. Steal back everything her erstwhile leader took, and then some. She'll just need to trick the king of all tricksters with the law on her heels and a troublesome new ally whose loyalties seem as conflicted as his feelings for Mariah. It's the most audacious heist she's ever attempted, but she failed her crew once. This time, she'll make it right at any cost. So just sounds like it's going to be a good time. As I'd mentioned, I love me a good heist. So happy to have this one on my TBR for August. And then once I do read it, I'll definitely let you guys know what I thought about it and if I think it'll be something that it's worth, you know, you guys picking up. All right. And now we are on to a prompt number 4. We're kind of flying through these. And let's do this one. And we have a 4-word title. Okay, so give me just a second here to check and see what I have that may have a 4-word title. So that didn't take very long. Apparently, I only have one book that has a 4-word title, and that is Seek the Traitor's Son by Veronica Roth. And this one's supposed to be a dystopian. Veronica Roth wrote Divergent. I haven't read that series, but I know it's super popular. And I haven't heard a lot about this book, so I think I'm kind of going to go into it blind. This was a book of the month pick for me a couple months back, and just the super short blurb is the daughter of a bounty hunter, the knight sworn to protect her, the prophecy that destroys their lives. So maybe based on that, it's not a dystopian. I'm not real sure because I don't really expect knights to be in dystopian books. But I could have swore that I heard this one was dystopian. So I guess when I read it, we will find out together. So that's going to be my 4th TBR pick for August. And our 5th and final prompt pick. Well, now I got 56 prompts in my hand here. We'll do the blue one. And this one is a book that I have been avoiding. And I don't know if there's any I've been in particularly avoiding. So let's take a look at some that may have just been on my TBR for a while. So these 2 are fairly new. Immortal Consequences has been on there for a little bit. So has A Ring of Fates. These are somewhat newer. Yeah, none of these are like super old, but I think one of the older ones is Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. And this one would be a good one for me to get to because I actually just got the sequel from Book of the Month. So I need to read the first book before I can move on to the sequel. And if you're not familiar with Immortal Consequences, it is a dark academia setting, but it's a little bit unique because it's actually in the underworld. And once you go to this academy, you're there for life unless you make it out during this competition called the Decennial, I think it's called. Oh, it's the Decennial. And this is a once in a decade competition. And if you do win it, then you could choose to pass on outside of the academy. So I was kind of saving this one for the fall because I thought with it being, kind of set in the underworld and this is like an afterlife kind of book, that might be a good time to read it. But if I do read this one now, then I'll be ready to pick up the second book in the fall. So that's what we're going to go with for a book I've been avoiding. Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. All right, and now that is all my regular prompts. So now we just need to do the spinner wheel for my 26 books to read in 2026. All right, so I have my spinner wheel up here. So we will go ahead and give it a spin. Ooh, yay, I'm actually super excited that I got this one. So I got The Raven Scholar, which is by Antonia Hodgsons. And I've only heard great things about this book. I have had it on my TBR for a while, so definitely have been wanting to get to it. And from what I know about it, it's in like, I think a little bit of an academic setting, but in the academy, it's broken up by different houses, and those houses are called different animals. So let me give you a little bit of the blurb. Let us fly now to the Empire of Oran, where after 24 years of peace, the reign of Burson the Brusque has come to an end. In the dizzying heat of midsummer, 7 exceptional warriors, thinkers, and strategists compete to replace him. When one of them is murdered, it falls to Nima, the Emperor's brilliant, idiosyncratic high scholar, to find the killer and fight for the throne. Nima believes she is alone, but we are here to help. All she has to do is let us in. If she succeeds, we will win an empire. If she fails, death awaits her, but we won't let that happen. So I guess it's not an academic setting. I thought it was, but it only mentions the one high scholar. So I guess we shall see once we get into it. But yeah, this one's a little bit of a chunky one. 648 pages, but I think this is the biggest one that'll be on the TBR this month, so that's not really too bad. So that's it, guys. That went super fast, but really excited about the books I have on my TBR for August. So let's do a little bit of a recap. So my book off my 26 books for 2026 is The Raven Scholar. Then for a new release, we picked A Complement of Scoundrels, which was one of the arcs that I had wanted to get to. For my free pick, I picked Scion by James Islington. That's another of the arcs that's coming out in September. So then for my foreword title, we have Seek the Traitor's Son by Veronica Roth. For a book I've been avoiding, we have Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. And for the 7th book on my TBR cart, we had Starside by Alex Astor. So super excited to read all these this month and can't wait to let you all know my thoughts on it. What books are you looking forward to reading in August? Have you read any of these, or do you have something else on your TBR that you're super excited to read? Just let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Take care, keep reading, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.